What's up, everybody? Yes, indeed, I'm back, people. You already know you can't talk about it, you gotta be about it. And like I've said in the past, and I'm gonna tell you today, if you're still spinning your wheels and not knowing how to get started in your fitness journey, then you need to shoot me a DM. I have a blueprint that is bulletproof. It will get you the results that you've been chasing after time after time after time. I'm telling you, people, I'm living proof. If you haven't seen my bio yet in my Instagram, go check it out. I went from fat to fit to ripped. Well, anyways, with that being said, get up and get yours. And here comes a quick little story. But before I jump into this story, I want to give a shout out to my homeboy, my younger homie, his pops, rest in peace, Big Cricket. This is known as Little Cricket to me. My younger homie, I just seen him right now. My wife came to the back and told me that my boy was in the front dropping off mail. And I went up there to chop it up with them. Man, I'm so proud of you, Cricket. Keep doing your thing, man. And I'll tell you one thing, I know your pops would be really proud of you. One day, I'm going to perhaps share some stories that I shared with your pops growing up. You know what I mean? Your pops was my older homie as well. He was a little bit older than me. But I looked up to your pops as well, you know what I mean? And we did our things in the past, I should say, you know, but before I would ever touch on any of those stories, I would get your permission. You know what I mean? That's just out of respect. That's homie love, and that's how we get down where we come from. But anyways, people, I told you I was going to bring you a little story every day. And there's a couple of topics I want to touch on. I know we left off in Soledad State Prison about a regular day, running a regular program day, you know, resume program, back to rutina. But I'm going to take it back a little bit because I had mentioned about woods and splinters. And everybody is probably going to have a different take on this, but I'm going to give you the take that I know about how the woods earned that title as being a wood. Okay, keep in mind, this is going through LA County Jail, through LA County, not through the whole system, surviving Men's Central Jail, the 9,000 floor, or just anywhere in there. This is where you were found out if you were a wood or a splinter. And I know I'm probably gonna maybe touch people's feelings out there with what I'm gonna have to say, but I'm just keeping it real. I'm keeping it 100. I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything, and I'm gonna tell it how it was. Back in my time, going through that system, particularly the fucking LA County Jail, was very, very racist. Okay, and when I say racist, I mean extremely racist. With all races. And back in my time, like I said, even the paisas caught the blues. And they caught it from us homies. You know, it was a dog-eat-dog world in there. The blacks, they preyed upon their own. There may be people of today that say different, but no, I lived it. And I've like I've said, I've lived it. I know. And anybody from my age group doing time back in that county jail, they know. And as far as the whites and the paisas, they were, how should I put this? I don't really want to offend anybody because I'm not here to offend anyone. I'm just here to tell a story and tell it the way I've experienced it because I lived it. The paisas and the whites had it really bad. I mean, really bad They got their hands shook, their money took, their bedrolls taken, their shoes taken. Whatever we could take, we were taking. If you were weak, you were getting got. And that went for residents as well. Even if you weren't a paisa or a white, if you were weak, you were getting taken. So I give it to those whites, and you know who I'm talking about. The Woods, the real Woods. This is how they earned their title. There weren't many, I tell you that right now, because when they rolled up to 9,500, they were pretty much free game on who would attack them between us and the blacks. The blacks, to be honest with you, they normally dealt with their own people. I mean, if they caught a weak individual on his own trying to free will, I'm sure they would have got him too, because we did the same. And if you understand what I'm talking about, that we didn't discriminate. If you showed signs of weakness, you were going to get got. And what kept you under our umbrella up there is because as soon as you got brought in, you were drugged towards us. Not literally drug, but where were you to go? When you walked in this arena of gladiators, you're going to go with the color of your skin and where they were at, where you thought would be safe. Okay, so it was really bad for the whites in there. They got the blues, but I tip my hat to the ones that survived it. Those are the ones in my eyes that earned that title of being a Wood, a motherfucking Peckerwood. That boy right there was with the fucking business. Because trust and believe, to earn that title during the time that I was doing time, coming from that race and surviving out of that fucking men's central jail to go on and finish your time, whether it be in Biscaloo or Supermax, Wayside, anywhere in Wayside, you were with it. You were definitely with it, and you earned that title. Because the other cats, I could tell you right now, they straight got punked. There's another word I want to label them as, but I'm not going to, because I frown upon people when they use that word. A lot of people tend to use it freely out here in this world, and I've caught myself. I've never been addressed that by an individual, because I honestly would probably still snatch them up till this day, and have to check them and humble them. That's a no-no. But anyways, those Woods that went through the county system back in the 90s, and I'm sure it was before that, even during my brother's time, that survived that, that is how they earned that title. Because just to survive, period, going through the 9,500 through the 9,000 floor, anywhere in that county jail, while the men's central jail, let me clear that up. I want to be specific here, because once you made it out there, there was more structure, but that's how they earned that title. The Splinters, they got shook and got took. They were punked and removed. And they were frowned upon anywhere they hit the system. Them guys usually normally PC'd up. They went to protective custody because their life was in danger. And when I say endangered, it really was back then. Because what you guys consider racism nowadays, doesn't even compare to the slightest of the racism that I've experienced going through that system. And it went for all races. There was no discrimination, I tell you that right now. You know, a lot of people say that the whites had it good. They had it just as bad as everybody else. It's just certain individuals were a lot more stronger in there during that time of war. And for those of you that know, you know who you are. I'm not gonna pinpoint any particular races because every race has a loss. Every race will have their wins. You know, it was just a never-ending battle. And I could tell you one thing right now. I was part of that movement that made housing segregated in there. We were at such war with another race. It was just about on site, anywhere and everywhere, in any part of the system. It moved from one part of the system to the other part like a tsunami wave. And I've heard of other individuals talk about waves. This is a whole different wave right here. This was like race against race. It was madness, man. And that's why I said it was so dangerous back in them days, because if you weren't paying attention, you could get caught up and have your life taken. And like that particular morning, because my mind was focused, I'm going back a little bit, when I was on my way to court, and I was more focused on, because I saw an enemy, who today is considered a camarada. I wasn't paying attention to the cell that I walked into. Things could have got bad. Okay, I'm going to leave it as that. It is what it is. During that time, all races went through a lot, but the ones that had it the worst, I could tell you now, in my eyes, were the whites. And the ones that survived, my God, I tip my hat to you. And it was just straight madness in that county jail. It was pretty much basically like a free-for-all. Yeah, I fell underneath a certain umbrella, but it still didn't change the fact. If I was there solo, and there was, I'm just going to give you an example. If there was a big ranfla from an area that we didn't really click with, they would have tried to give me the blues to a certain extent. But I would have went out like a warrior, you know what I mean? It's just what it was, you know, it was part of the game. But I could guarantee, though, it wouldn't have been as bad as the Gavas I'm just going to say as bad as the Gavas had it, the whites. So, again, the ones that survived it, man, I tip my hat to you guys. It was crazy. Now I'm speaking for LA County. I can't speak for the other counties, so there's going to be a lot of people that are probably going to feel different about that title, and so be it. You know what I mean? But I'm giving you my story on how they earned that title back in my day, going through the county system. And you could ask any Wood that went through my system. That's how they earned that title. Because surviving there in the county jail, doing time there, you could survive anywhere, guaranteed. You know, I'm not glamorizing it. It's just, it is what it is. You know, you couldn't talk about it. You had to be about it. Well, anyways, people, time to bring this story to an end. Like I said at the beginning of my video, if you want to get going on your fitness journey, and if you want to get started, you can still go to my bio, hit my link tree, get your free meals, get you started, get you some simple results, and you know, it'll build you a new habit, you know, because once you get results, especially results that you've been chasing after and you couldn't get them, it becomes addicting. And once you get addicted to this, and this habit creates, and you do it time over and over and over, and you become disciplined with it and dedicated, it becomes a lifestyle. This is what I do every day, people, even on my rest days. Sunday is my Sunday run day, as you guys already know. I get up, I get suited, I get booted, I hit the park, me, the wife, and I go get my 7-mile run in, you know. But yeah, if you're still struggling, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'll get you guys going. I'm telling you now. Let's break them limited beliefs, people. Now, with that being said, get up and get yours. I've got mine. Let's do this.